What up, what up, what up? So they cross-examined Tulsi Gabbard and this John Ratcliffe guy to see if basically what they're trying to get at is to see if this guy was given the right information about going to war and whether he took your advice or not. And it's painfully obvious that that this fraud, this idiot, went about it all on his own, and now look at what's going on. Look at what's going on. I mean, you have a functionally illiterate idiot, and they're asking him, man, do you read briefs? Motherfucker, this guy don't know how to read. And you put together a sophisticated brief for that guy, he'll get bored after 3 sentences. This dude has, this simpleton of an imbecile has the mind of a fucking 3-year-old, and it's getting lower because he has dementia. He was saying, yeah, after careful consultation and reading briefs. Bullshit. That guy don't fucking read. All that guy's worried about is fucking the drapes at the ballroom. Are you kidding? Any American with half a brain that watches these clips needs to be horrified. Check this out. See if I'm being hyperbolic or not. Remember, peace, resist. It's working. Roll it. Ossoff over here fucking shreds this fucking dimwit. This is what happens when you have dim-witted idiot bootlickers, right? And people that don't have experience. This is what happens. You end up in a fucking war. Continue, Senator Ossoff.
The White House stated on March 1st of this year that this war was launched and was, quote, a military campaign to eliminate the imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime, end quote. That's a statement from the White House. Quote, the imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime. Was it the assessment of the intelligence community that there was an imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime?
Uh-oh. Answer the question. Answer the question.
The intelligence community assessed that Iran maintained the intention to rebuild and to continue to grow their nuclear
maintain the intention.
Enrichment capability.
Was it the assessment of the intelligence community that there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime, yes or no?
Senator, the only person who can determine what is and is not an imminent threat is the president.
What? That's your job. By the way, that motherfucker can't even tell when a dump is imminent. Why do you think he wears a diaper? Why do you think he stinks? Why do you think I call him Stinky?
This is the worldwide threats hearing where you present to Congress national intelligence, timely, objective, and independent of political considerations. You've stated today that the intelligence community's assessment is that Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated and that, quote, there have been no efforts since then to try to rebuild their enrichment capability. Was it the intelligence community's assessment that nevertheless, despite this obliteration, there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime? Yes or no?
Her brain's going, I don't know.
It is not the intelligence community's responsibility to determine what is and is not an imminent threat.
Okay.
Bullshit. That is your job. That is absolutely what you're supposed to do.
Here's the problem.
On a volume
no, it is precise.
The president determines it based on a volume of information. That motherfucker can't read.
It is precisely your responsibility to determine what constitutes a threat to the United States. This is the worldwide threats hearing where, as you noted in your opening testimony, quote, you represent the IC's assessment of threats. You are here to represent the IC's assessment of threats. That's a quote from your own opening statement. And so my question is, as you're here to present the IC's assessment of threats, was it the assessment of the intelligence community that, as the White House claimed on March 1st, there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime? Yes or no?
Once again, Senator, the intelligence community has provided the inputs that make up this annual threat assessment?
Bro, yes or no? Yes or no?
To the
It is
question.
the nature of the imminent threat that the president has to make that determination.
No
based on-
shit, we're fucked. This lady's an idiot. This is a fucking idiot. This is the lady that determines whether we get nuked or not.
On a collection and volume.
You're here to be.
So the collection in volume. He can't read. The only thing that's collecting in volume is the shit in his diaper. And yours ain't too far behind.
Intelligence that he is
You're
provided with.
here to be timely, objective, and independent of political considerations.
Exactly what
Yeah, right. This is a bootlicker.
I'm doing.
No, you're evading a question because to provide a candid response to the committee would contradict a statement from the White House. Let me ask you about.
You did a goddamn job before sundown, or we're shipping you off to military school with a goddamn Finkelstein shit kid. Son of a bitch.
Bitch is terrified of jail. She is terrified of jail. She's just thinking what's gonna happen to Kristi Noem for lying to these people. You better tread lightly there, Kimosabi.
And you noted in your opening statement you're here fulfilling a statutory responsibility and that your testimony, quote, represents the IC's assessment of threats, correct? That opening statement, as submitted to the committee in advance of this hearing, stated that as a result of last summer's airstrikes, quote, Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated, end quote, correct?
That's right.
So why did we go again? Why did we go at him again then?
And is that in fact the assessment of the intelligence community?
Yes.
So why did we go again, Airhead? Why?
So the assessment of the intelligence community is that Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated by last summer's airstrikes.
Yes.
Okay then. Why are they saying today, right, that they need to eliminate their nuclear capabilities? Because it's bullshit. It's bullshit. We're over there and we have had 200 soldiers 200 soldiers hurt and 13 dead just simply because this asshole Stinky thought he could feel it in his bones or something like that. God damn, bro. You're pathetic. You're pathetic. But you see, you can't be legitimate to that guy. You can't talk to him because you're scared, because you're a bootlicker. Very basic questions.
He just disregarding it. And I just want to point out something that was released about 6 days ago. This is a fundraising email from the president of the United States. And in this email here, where there's multiple links to donate money, it says, as a national security briefing member, you'll receive my private national security briefings. Director Gabbard or Director Radcliffe, do you think the public should be able to, supporters of the president should be able to pay and receive his private national security briefings? I assume these are briefings, Director Radcliffe, that you provide to the president that is now going to be provided to somebody who makes a...
Wait, stop. The czar of fraud, J.D. Vance. Well, you have a case now, J.D. Look, this is fraud.
I don't know what that I don't know what that document is, but regardless of what it says, it didn't happen.
Oh, no, this is new.
But what I'm telling you is that the Hatch Act would prevent me from an apolitical role from engaging in that. I'm not aware that anything like that happened.
Yeah,
So it's just blatant fraud to steal money from people, huh?
Unfiltered updates. So, Director Gabbard, do you have any comment on whether unfiltered updates of private national security briefings should be made to individuals that donate to the president?
I'm not familiar with that document.
This is laughable and disgusting and horrifying at the same time, and fraud, by the way.
And
It's been made very public 6 days ago. We'll get you a copy here because I agree with you, Director Ratcliffe, that the Hatch Act should prohibit this type of conduct. Thank you.
Senator White?
That was horrifying. Say what?
Stupid bitches get stiff. bitches.
Oh! This attack on Iran is a bigger clusterfuck than anybody can imagine. Listen to this.
And is it accurate that China is continuing to receive preferential oil flows from Iran despite the conflict as Iran allows its own tankers to transit the strait? Director Gabbard, I'm going to go back and forth between the two of you.
There has been some reporting of China, India, and other countries being able to move their tankers through the strait. However, it is unclear the volume or the measure of that.
Oh, yeah, so we can't. Imagine that. Imagine that. Now, think about this. Think about this. And this isn't even a hypothetical, right? Iran is letting China and India through, but not the United States, right? Who would India and China attack if push came to shove? Whose side would they go on? Iran's or the United States? This is going to turn into World War III.
It sounds like it's accurate. Thank you. I'm going to move on. Director.
And here
in Springfield, they're eating the dogs.
Holy shit. This is horrifying and terrible. Listen to this.
Dr. Gabbard, you tweeted yesterday that President Trump concluded there was an imminent threat and made a decision to attack Iran after carefully reviewing all of the information before him.
He was too busy dicking around with the goddamn hockey team and fucking playing golf. That motherfucker can't read anyway.
I think the country deserves to know what the information was. I'm going to ask a series of questions and just want a yes or no. We don't need any explanation, just yes or no, starting with, were you asked, I'm not asking if you did brief this, were you asked to brief on whether Iran would close the Strait of Hormuz?
I'm not going to comment on what the president.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's yes or no. That's yes or no. Because the answer is no. The answer is no. This is horrifying. Simply because a dementia-ridden shit stain wanted to send us to war, we went to war?
Didn't ask me on any topic.
I'm not asking if you briefed it. I'm just asking if there was a request.
I understand.
By the White House. Director Ratcliffe, were you asked to brief on whether Iran would close the Strait of Hormuz?
The briefings to the president of the White House typically don't come at the request of the White House. So
what? So if you know that something's going to happen bad, right, or good for that matter, you have to wait for them to ask you? This is terrible.
Typically, when we get intelligence that we want the president to be aware of, the intelligence community brings that to the president.
Did you produce the analysis for the Straits of Hormuz?
There has been and continues to be analysis with respect to that.
Yeah, well, we got analysis, but did you give it to them?
On how our adversaries and allies would respond to the war in Iran? I imagine I'll get the same answer. So it's just to point out here, it's challenging to forget about actually what was in the brief for a second. We're having a hard time finding out not only if you briefed the president on something, but even if the White House asked.
Of course they didn't ask.
If they could be briefed on something or if analysis was produced. So I just...
And we have Senator...